Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. I hope you are enjoying these videos. So this lesson is second chapter in the 10th standard, the Elixir of Life, one of the most important chapter, which is written by C.V. Raman. So before going to see the chapter, let's see the biography of C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman, 1888 and 1970, had a keen interest in science even from his boyhood days. For his famous discovery called the Raman effect, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1930. King George knighted him for his contribution to physics. The government of India awarded him the Bharat Ratna, and the Soviet Union honored him with the International Lenin Prize in 1957. And his most famous quote, "The true wealth of nation consists not in the stored up gold, but in the intellectual and physical strength of its people." Yes, it is very important quote of C.V. Raman. So it is very helpful if we understand. Now let's see the chapter. So basically this chapter is differentiation between or comparison between the Libyan desert and the Nile riverside. Because on a point he was standing and comparing the difference between two parts of the earth. So first let's see the meaning of Elexire. The elixir of life means what is important for life. Elixir actually means the divine Amrita, which is nothing but water. As we know, without water we cannot imagine our life. Not only useful but also complement the process. So it is very important. It is said that if the Third World War breaks out, it will be for the sake of water. Do you agree? Discuss in part. So, as we know how the water is important, we also know that drinking water is very less on the earth. So, if the Third World War is going to be break, means the water will be the reason, because it is that much important. So, let's start the chapter. Man has through the ages sought in a vain for an imaginary elixir of life, the divine Amrita, to confer immortality, but the true elixir of life lies near to our hands, for it is the commonest of all liquids, plain water. So man is searching for the imaginary elixir of life, means he is running towards many other things, but actual life is we cannot live life without the liquids. Liquid is nothing but water. First, if water we have, then only we can make a liquid like other liquids. I remember one day standing on the line which separates the Libyan desert from the valley of the Nile in Egypt. So let's see a small picture to understand. So this is a picture of river Nile and Libyan desert, and in between there is a way which differentiate the Libyan Libyan desert and the river of Nile. Here the author is expressing, and he is telling that I remember one day standing on the line which separates the Libyan desert from the valley of the Nile in Egypt. So Nile river is in Egypt and Libyan desert, both are side by side. On one side was visible a sea of billowing sand without a speck of green or single living thing anywhere visible on it, while on another side lay one of the greenest, most fertile and densely populated areas to be found. So see what he is telling, the author. He was standing in between the desert and the Nile, which he is observing that line differentiate the reserve the desert and the river. But if we see, one side is a totally sand and there is no single life and there is no speck of green or single living thing anywhere visible. If we see, there is no one is there on a Libyan desert. But if we see another side, while on the other side lay one of the greenest, most fertile and densely means crowded, populated area to be found anywhere on the earth, teeming means full of life and vegetation. What made this wonderful difference? Why? It is the water of the river Nile flowing down to the Mediterranean from its sources a couple of thousands of miles away. So here it is separating the Nile river from the miles away. So next, geologists tell us that the entire soil of the Nile Valley is the creation of the river itself. It was brought down as the finest silt in its flood waters from the highlands of Abyssinia. Abyssinia is a country name and from remote Central Africa. So the river, which is whatever the sand in the river is, it is made by that itself, means river made it itself. When it flows, so the area will also flow with that. Area means like stone, sand, like that. Through which trough a long, narrow, open container which the Nile flow into the sea. Egypt in fact was made by its river. Its ancient civilization was created and is sustained by the life-giving water which come down year after year with unfailing regularity. Why the Egypt civilization made there? Because of this Nile river. Because every year the same flow of water comes. That's why the life of Egypt civilization was possible. I give this example and could give many other to emphasize that this common substance which we take for granted in our everyday life is the most potent and the most wonderful thing on the face of our earth. It has played a role of vast significance in shaping the course of the earth's history and continues to play the leading role in the drama of life on the surface of our planet. Because of water only, it is possible to sustain from generation to generation. If we don't have water, we can't, and it gives a shape to the earth. Because if water is there, we can make many things with the water, drinking water. It's not possible with the water, sea water and all, because the quality of drinking water and the sea water is totally different, as we learn in the science. There is nothing which adds so much to the beauty of the countryside as water, be it just a little stream trickling over the rocks or a little pond by the wayside where the cattle quench their thirst of an evening. The rain-fed tanks that are so common in South India, alas, often so sadly neglected in their maintenance, are a cheering sight when they are full. They are, of course, shallow, but this is less evident since the water is silt laden and through the light back and the bottom does not therefore show up. These tanks play a vital role in South Indian agriculture. Some of these tanks are surprising large, and it is a beautiful sight to see the sunrise or sunset over one of them. Water in a landscape may be compared to the eye in human face. It reflected the mood of the hour, being bright and grey when the sun shines, turning to dark and gloomy when the sky is overcast. So in this paragraph, author want to tell that so how the water make beautiful on the countryside, because when the rain falls, the streams will start to trickle over the rocks and little ponds, and because of that cattle quench their thirst in the evening, and rain fed the tanks means wherever the place is there, when rain falls the water stored there. Because of that the life is possible, and that makes beautiful. And when the sunrise and sunset is there, the reflection of sun on the water is amazing and beautiful, and it is very popular in the South Indian agriculture. I think you have the observation and experience whenever you visit the villages and your grandparents hometown and all. So in these 5 paragraphs we have seen Next, from the 6th paragraph, we'll continue in the next video. Thank you.